WWE Evolution is the one premium live event where the entire women's division takes over. The last time we had Evolution was all the way back in October of 2018, and even then, it was a very interesting premium live event. At that time, we did not have WWE Women's Tag Team titles. We didn't have mid-card championships for the women like we do now. And in today's video, I will be revealing my predictions for none other than the all-women's premium live event, known as Evolution. But before we get into it, I do want to give you guys a heads up that we are now 178 subs away from hitting 500 subs. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because practically 100% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, be sure to follow me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. I'm on the card as it sits now. What are you guys' predictions for WWE Evolution? Let me know down in the comments below. And let's kick things off with the match that was made official over the weekend, which is going to be a triple threat match for the women's Intercontinental title that will feature the champion Becky Lynch and the challengers Bayley and the former champion Lyra Valkyria. This rivalry between Becky and Bayley has gone on for well over 15 years, and this goes all the way back to their days in NXT when they were fighting over not only over the NXT women's title, but also fighting for respect over the years. And we knew that and obviously Bayley took it pretty hard when her four horsewomen cohorts, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and of course Sasha Banks, all got called up to the main roster. And it's weird because when they did get called up, it only motivated Bayley to want to fight harder and fight harder and work harder than she ever did in her whole career. And in a way she did. She went on to become NXT Women's Champion. She held the title for a little over 220 days, which was an incredible run, mind you. But when she did get called up to the main roster, she pretty much felt like an outcast. And yes, she did win the women's world title, or back then I guess the Raw women's title. She went on to also become women's tag team champion, become SmackDown women's champion, winning Money in the Bank, to winning the Royal Rumble, to becoming WWE women's champion at last year's WrestleMania in Philly. Bayley has had quite the successful career, but for her, she wanted to be a part of WrestleMania, teaming with Lyra Valkyria, which led to obviously Becky attacking Bayley at WrestleMania, which led to Becky, as Lyra had stated last night on Raw. Becky was the one that called Lyra, and Lyra apparently did not hesitate because she needed a partner right then and there. So who better than the man Becky Lynch? Obviously, yes, they did become tag team champions, but the next night things didn't work out so well. Backlash, obviously Lyra defeated Becky in controversial manner. Money in the Bank, Becky wins the title, and now Bayley returns and she wants the gold. Lyra wants to regain the title, but Becky Lynch wants to prove that she can be just as dominant of a champion as Lyra was. This right here has chaos written all over it. We knew that at some point there was going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of turmoil with this matchup, and in a way there has been. There's been so much chaos surrounding this matchup. I'm surprised that they're not making it a sort of like a no holds barred match or something like that. But then again, it is triple threat, so it's no count outs, no DQ. You can pretty much almost guarantee that we may end up seeing a very chaotic triple threat match. But this comes down to the big question of, can Becky do it? This is Becky's, I believe, her first title defense, if I remember right. If I remember correctly, I believe this is her first title defense since winning the title and Money in the Bank. And the question becomes, can Becky do it? Can she retain the title after being gone for over a year? Can she do it? And the answer is yes. 100% she can definitely retain the title, but this is under triple threat rules. So we know that the odds are definitely not against... I can't speak. We know that the odds are not in Becky's favor, and she has no advantages whatsoever. The only advantage that she has is the fact that it is no count out and no DQ, meaning that Becky can do whatever the hell she wants to Bayley, to Lyra, and still potentially walk away still the Intercontinental Champion. This title, I've said it before. I will 100% say it again. The Intercontinental Championship has so much prestige. Like at least 24 Hall of Famers have held that title and went on to do big things in WWE. Hence the reason why it's known as the Workhorse Championship. It's because once you're the Intercontinental Champion, you have to be the guy or the woman. You have to be the guy or woman to take the title and introduce new talent that you never would have imagined seeing in on Raw or SmackDown, which could be Tony, could be Tony D'Angelo, could be Stax for all we know. Hell, it could even be Obafemi for all we know. But for the women, the talent's there. You got Maxie Dupree, you got Natalya, you got Nikki Bella, who apparently is going to be competing in the Battle Royal this Sunday, which that Battle Royal I will be talking about later on in this video, so be sure to stay tuned. But this comes down to who has the advantage going into this match. And in my opinion, I feel like the person that has the advantage has to be Becky Lynch. I think because of the fact that this is her first title defense, and this is a triple threat, and we know, triple threat, fatal 4-way, fatal 5-way, 6-pack challenge. First person to get pinfall or submission wins. It's just that simple. So the fact that Becky has that advantage, the fact that it's no count out, no disqualification, proves that Becky Lynch has the upper hand, and she's in both Bayley's head and in Lyra's head. So that right there is definitely something to consider. So between these three, who do I think is going to win? Crazy as it sounds, as much as I would love to see Lyra retain the title or Bayley win the title, I think it's going to be Becky. I think because that this is our first defense, there's no way that that Becky will lose this early in her reign as women's Intercontinental Champion. There is no way that that's going to be possible. Which brings us, speaking of no holds barred, this brings us to yet another bitter rivalry. This one features Jade Cargill and Miss Money in the Bank, Naomi. This has been going on for almost a year now, and this dates all the way back to last year's WrestleMania, to last year's WrestleMania, where Jade Cargill picked up the victory over Damage Control for her team that was known as the Big Three, which was obviously, which was Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and of course Naomi. This led to Jade and Bianca getting a shot at the women's tag team titles, which led to Naomi getting a shot at the WWE women's title at Backlash. And this escalated pretty far when we found out that someone had attacked Jade and pushed her off a ledge and through the windshield of a car. No one knew who did it. All eyes were pointed to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez because of the fact that her and Bianca were the tag team champions. And so we all had hopes that it would be Liv Morgan, but we found out at Elimination Chamber that it ended up becoming Naomi who attacked Jade Cargill that night right before War Games. So that right there says a lot about how far Naomi was willing to go to try to remain tag team champions with Bianca Belair, which again led to Liv and Raquel winning the titles for a third time in their careers. And it was so heartbreaking to find out that it was indeed Naomi that attacked Jade that night on SmackDown last year. It was so heartbreaking because Jade had become such a dominant superstar on SmackDown with Bianca Belair under her, under the wing, if you will, of Bianca Belair. They really elevated the tag team division to heights that we never would have expected. And so this escalated further at WrestleMania when Jade picked up the victory over Naomi, and that led to a rematch not that long ago. In fact, I believe it was at Backlash. Wasn't it? Was it Backlash? I want to say it was. No, it wasn't. It was not Backlash. It was maybe on SmackDown. I don't remember. It's been a minute, but yeah, this led to a rematch, I believe. Naomi won. Sad to say, but this was basically the rubber match, and it now is no holds barred, which means anything goes. First woman to gain pinfall or submission picks up the dub. There is definitely a lot to unpack with this one. This again, as I stated, the rivalry goes all the way back to last year during WrestleMania when they won over Damage Control, and I feel like, in my honest opinion, I feel like Naomi is just bitter. She's bitter by the fact that the fans forgot about her when she left WWE. And she left WWE not because she wanted to, but it was because of Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks was the one that insisted on leaving because of the fact that she was bitter by the fact that she wasn't receiving opportunities ever, like at all. But in reality, they had an opportunity at the Raw Women's Championship at that time. So the fact that alone is in the back is in the mind of Naomi, proves that Naomi has always been bitter. She's been bitter by that particular fact, and I feel like, in my honest opinion, Naomi is just I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think Naomi is just she's just not herself. She hasn't been herself. But she is Miss Money in the Bank, which is awesome for her. But it comes down to this, right? Who has the advantage? Who has the advantage going into this match? And honestly, it's got to be Jade Cargill. I think just because of the fact that she has a lot to prove. Yes, she has been in WWE for a year, but as she prepares for SummerSlam against Tiffany Stratton, one could argue that if Naomi wins, this puts her in line for a potential shot at the WWE Women's title down the line. But even if that were to be the case, it doesn't matter. Naomi has the Money in the Bank briefcase. So it comes down to this. Who deserves the victory? And it's got to be Jade Cargill. She's the one that has the vendetta over, against Naomi. Naomi has no vendetta against Jade Cargill. The only vendetta that she has is the fact that Jade is the one getting the shot at the WWE Women's title, while Naomi, once again, is in the no pun intended rear view mirror. So my money definitely is on Jade Cargill. But if Naomi wins, again, that definitely puts her in line for a shot at the title. Speaking of Tiffany Stratton, this one is a dream match that we never would have expected. Tiffany Stratton versus the Hall of Famer Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's title. Enough said. I mean, this is a dream match. This is something that fans have been clamoring for a long time. Fans wanted to see Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton, and we got that. Now fans have been wanting to see Tiffy versus Trishy, and that's exactly what we are getting this Sunday at Evolution. I will say this is Trish's first opportunity at a championship in a very long time. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that this is her first championship opportunity at singles gold in well over 20 years. I want to say in almost 20 years. Think about that. The last time she had a singles championship opportunity, it was at Unforgiven in 2006 against her bestie, if you will, fellow WWE Hall of Famer Lita, and even that alone was a match that was definitely a match for the ages. And the fact that Trish Stratus or Tiffany Stratton was given the chance to pick her opponent proves that Tiffany Stratton is that confident. The fact that WWE allowed her to pick her opponent proves that they have confidence in her ability, and they know that she can put on one hell of a fight against whoever her opponent is. This is no different, but But again, this is a dream match, and I think at this point it doesn't matter who wins and who loses. Either way, the respect is there, and Tiffany gave Trish the opportunity to compete at Elimination Chamber in her hometown of Trish's hometown in Toronto against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae, which even that was just a crazy matchup. This right here will be just ass, but given the fact that this is Trish's first title opportunity in almost 20 years, one could argue that the championship ring rust could be there, could be in the mind of the WWE Hall of Famer. Possible? Absolutely, but I think as much as I would love to see Trish Stratus win the WWE Women's title for the eighth time in her career, I think Tiffany's gonna prove once again that the whole world is running on Tiffy time. So definitely, Tiffy time. Tiffy's taking it. My opinion, my prediction, Tiffy is taking it over the Hall of Famer. Next up, we've got the Women's Battle Royal, and we found out that the winner of the Battle Royal will go to Clash in Paris and challenge for a championship at the PLE in Paris, France. There's a lot to consider, because we found out that Stephanie Vaquer is going to be in that Battle Royal. We found out that Ivy Nile is going to be in the Battle Royal. We found out that the Dungeon Dolls and Natalia and Maxine Dupree will be in the Battle Royal. I'm pretty sure we're probably gonna see Zelina Vega compete in the Battle Royal. I'm not so sure about Julia though, because there's been a lot of rumors that there's been some rumors that we could potentially see Julia defend the Women's United States title this Sunday at Evolution, which is possible, but we really don't know for sure. But we also know that WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella will also be in the Battle Royal, and this actually comes out of the fact that Liv Morgan attacked Nikki Bella with Oblivion several weeks ago on Raw, which lit up the fire inside of the Fearless One to want to become a champion one more time. And I don't know. The Battle Royal, because that we don't know all that is going to be in the Battle Royal. One could argue that it's going to be a very chaotic Battle Royal. But no one knows. No one knows exactly who from NXT will be in the Battle Royal. I know that we could potentially see some of the women. Excuse me. Some of the women from WWE Evolve show up potentially. I know that there have been some rumors that fans have been wanting the Evolve Women's Championship to be defended at Evolution. But unfortunately, that is no longer the case. Apparently, that match will take place tomorrow night on Evolve on Tubi, and I think I don't know, guys. I think putting the Evolve Women's Championship on a PLE such as Evolution definitely would have been a massive push for the brand, but it is what it is. But as far as the Battle Royal goes, I don't know who's gonna win it. This is one that I can't predict. It's pretty early to say, but if I had to pick a favorite, it would definitely have to be the Dark Angel, Stephanie Vaquer. Imagine her competing for a championship at a PLE like Clash in Paris. Think about that, guys. Think about that. But we move into the women's tag team titles that will feature Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez of the Judgment Day against SmackDown's Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, NXT's Zaruka, I'm talking about Solruka and Zarya, and of course the Kabuki Warriors making their comeback for the first time in a year. Over a year, you guys. This is kind of crazy because this past Friday on last week on Raw. Yeah, last week on Raw, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis made the announcement that the women's tag team titles had to be defended at WWE Evolution. Finn Balor came up with the idea to put Liv Morgan's half of the tag titles onto Roxanne Perez, and in a way, even in spite of the loss to Kairi Sane last night, Roxanne Perez proved she belongs in the Judgment Day, which is kind of weird. I never would have expected to see her as part of the Judgment Day. I never would have expected it. But they made an announcement that there would be a team from Raw, a team from SmackDown, and a team from NXT competing for said tag team titles. And it came down to last Friday on SmackDown, where we had a triple threat. We had Bliss and Flair. We had Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. The Secret Harvest, and of course the team of B-Fab and Michin, which ended with Alexa Bliss hitting Twisted Bliss onto Piper Niven, picking up the victory for her team, and Charlotte and Alexa became the first team to qualify. Then we found out last week on NXT that Zaruka would be the ones to be a part of Evolution in that Fatal 4-Way. And then last night on Raw, after what happened on Raw involving Kairi Sane and Asuka, Adam Pearce made the announcement that the Kabuki Warriors were going to reunite for the first time in over a year to challenge for the tag team titles. This is huge because we know that Bliss and Flair, they are both former tag team champions. In fact, Bliss is actually a three-time tag team champion. Charlotte Flair only a one-time champion, and interestingly enough, they both of them teamed with Asuka, becoming tag team champions. So Asuka has more experience. Is actually as a bit of a funny Easter egg, Asuka is the first 4-time women's tag team champion in WWE history, and if the Kabuki Warriors win, that team alone, they would become 3-time champions, but Asuka would become a 5-time champion, which that right there, never would have expected that. Never would have expected that to happen, because every other tag team that has won the gold has won it at least once or twice. Never 3 times, never 4 times, but 5 times? That right there is just crazy. That right there is just crazy. But think about this. Zaruka is the dark horse team going into this match because of the fact that they're still relatively new as a team. Yes, they have had opportunities at Tag Team Gold before, but the problem is that the Judgment Day, the Kabuki Warriors, and Flair and Bliss see them as just another beatable team. But think about this. Solruka is a double champion. She is the current women's speed champion and the current women's North American champion in NXT. This leads to the question of, can Solruka pull it off? Can she become a triple crown champion? And the answer is yes. 100% she can definitely pull it off, but it comes down to who wants this match more, and it has to be the Judgment Day because the odds are against them. And when it comes to a woman like Raquel Rodriguez, when the odds are stacked against her, she always thrives and proves how dominant she can truly be. So between these four teams, who deserves the victory? Crazy as it sounds, I think it's gonna be the Kabuki Warriors. I think it's because of the fact that they've been a team longer than the other three teams combined, and that right there gives them the advantage that they need to walk out new tag team champions. So it's possible we could see that happen, but only time will tell. That brings us to the women's world title between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Obviously, a few weeks ago on Raw, we found out that Io Sky, much like Tiffany Stratton, was also allowed to select her opponent. Io chose Rhea Ripley, and this rivalry goes all the way. This actually goes all the way back to the Mae Young Classic when Io Sky eliminated Rhea Ripley, I believe in the second round, if I remember correctly. So that right there says a lot. And then over the years after that, every time they were in the ring together, one-on-one against each other, Io Sky has always had Rhea's number. This time it might be different, but then again it might not be. Think about this. This has been based on not on respect, not on friendship. This is solely based on the women's world title. Rhea had a shot to regain the title at WrestleMania. She failed. She failed miserably because Io Sky pinned Bianca Belair, not only retaining the title, but also breaking Bianca Belair's undefeated streak because Bianca Belair, let's see, was actually 4-0. She was 4-0 at WrestleMania, and now she's 4-1. A bit unfortunate. A bit unfortunate because, to be honest, in my opinion, Bianca Belair, we could have seen Bianca Belair become the next Undertaker, and go and and have a streak of her own, go 22-0 for all we know. Possible. It's very possible we could have seen that happen, but it is what it is. I will say this match is going to be one for the record books, but as big of a fan as I am of Mami, I think the genius of the Sky is going to prove why she is indeed that. So Io Sky retains the title, my prediction. That brings us to the last match of the card, the NXT Women's title between the champion Jacy Jayne and the challenger Jordynne Grace. Jordynne ended up winning. She won a qualifying match, which I believe it was her against Ren Sinclair, if I'm right. I need to look back on NXT. Let's see. NXT, here we are. So if I'm right, if I remember right, Jordynne Grace won against, I believe, in her Fatal 4-Way qualifier, she won, if I remember right. I'm actually on YouTube here on my Fire Stick. Give me a second, guys. If I'm not mistaken, Jordynne Grace Jordan Grace defeated Lola Vice. She defeated Lola Vice in a qualifying match, which then led to the Fatal 4-Way that featured herself, Lash Legend, Jada Parker, and Izzy Dame. Jordan ended up winning the Fatal 4-Way to earn the right to challenge for the NXT Women's title. We all thought it was going to be a dream match between Jordan Grace and Stephanie Vaquer, but of course, JC Jane, shock of the century, defeating Stephanie, becoming the new NXT Women's Champion, and nobody expected it. We found out that this Saturday at the Great American Bash, it will be Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe versus Fatal Influence. I am talking about Fallon Henley and the NXT Women's Champion. This will definitely give us a prelude of this Sunday. So tomorrow's video, I will be doing predictions for the Bash. So get ready. So be sure to get ready for that one. But this rivalry has been chaotic. I know I've said that multiple times in this video, but this one was just as the fact that the entire NXT Women's Division and the entire NXT universe, pretty much all of WWE, were shocked. Had been shocked by JC Jane becoming NXT Women's Champion. It was mind blowing. Everybody had seen her as a third wheel to factions, such as Toxic Attraction and Fatal Influence, and even also Chase U. Let's not forget she was once part of Chase U, which that blew up. I can honestly say that JC Jane is going to be in for one hell of a fight. But if there's anyone that can stop the Juggernaut, it is indeed JC Jane. But obviously she'll have the rest of Fatal Influence in her corner. So Jordan Grace is gonna have a tall task on her hands. But between the two, my opinion, it has to be JC Jane. With this being, I believe, her second or third title defense, if she loses on Sunday, there's no telling what social media is going to say. But with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.